You know, you don't get to bang the gavel every day. All right, welcome to everyone. I want to call this meeting to order. This meeting is being held in accordance with Public Law 1975, Chapter 231. Adequate notice of this meeting is being held, has been provided by a notice sent to the Star Ledger, the local source, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the Township website. We would like to invite Mark Kraus, caretaker of the dais, as well as Vice Commander, American Legion Post 228. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. Sorry, we have a lot of new people. For a moment of silence for our soldiers here and abroad. Madam Clerk.
Mayor Laufer.
Present.
Definitely not.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser. Present. Committeeman Capides is absent. Committeeman Huber is absent. Committeeman Weber.
Here. All right. Proclamations and announcement. 55-plus residents calendar for July is up for the Springfield Recreation. Pride at the Pool is Saturday, June 27th from 1 to 4. This event is open to the community. There will be a DJ, bounce house, Zumba, mini golf, and giveaways, and much, much more. All municipal offices will be closed on Friday, July 3rd in observance of the 4th of July. The 4th of July celebration will be on Saturday, July 4th, 5 p.m. at Mizell. Free admission food trucks, petting zoo, pony rides, trackless train, and a game truck will all be there, as well as a concert, and fireworks will begin at dusk. Next Township Committee meeting is Tuesday, July 14th at 7 p.m. There will be one meeting held in July and August. Springfield Public Library is pleased to host a summer concert on Wednesday, July 15th. Trio will be performing at 6:30 in front of Town Hall. Bring your own lawn chairs and enjoy an evening of classic rock and popular music favorites. In the event of inclement weather, the performance will be moved indoors at the library. Before we go to letter G, I just want to point out how important our current guests are, because Committeeman Weber showed up several minutes before the meeting instead of 1 minute before the meeting. So I just want you to know how important you are and how great of a contribution you've all made to this community. And I want to give it to Chris Weber to read the proclamation.
There are multiple parents out there who will confirm that you had to remind me when my daughter was up to bat all the time, because I was always out there talking with you guys. And the softball program really started to take off with what was the class of 2024, right? And we all had it in our heads, calculated when this group of girls was going to hit Dayton and make Coach Dave Rennie the absolute best coach in Union County. Okay, we had it calculated. And this is now, you've got all three now. You've got a county, you got a sectional, and you got a state, which is pretty amazing. Now, before I get to you girls, I just want to talk about your parents for a second, because my daughter is now coaching. Ash is now coaching for Fearless. She drove to Wall on Saturday and won 3 games, I think. Got up at 5 o'clock on Sunday, drove to Wall, lost 1 game, and came home as mad as a cougar trapped in a car, okay? And I said, Ash, now you know what it feels like. I said, what happened? She says, oh, they played like garbage. They just didn't play right. And she said, I am so aggravated that I drove all the way up there so they can lose. And I said, now you know what us parents go through for year after year after year after year. And sometimes it clicks and sometimes it comes together. And starting with the class of 2024, it really started to come together. Because unfortunately, prior to that, I think 23 had one girl, 22 had one or two. There weren't many. And it started to click then. And you parents, this is your hard work. This is you getting up every morning on the weekend, in the summer, and not taking vacation, and making your vacation the field in Tom's River, or Jackson, or just getting annihilated by bugs weekend after weekend after weekend. Wawa. Billy Santangelo loves Wawa, okay? Can't tell you the amount of talks we've had about Wawa, but Billy loves Wawa. But how many Wawa sandwiches have you eaten and Dunkin' Donuts trips you've made at 6:45 to be on the field by 7, right? This is what it is. You just have a group of girls who just won sectionals and states, which is, to you parents, this proclamation is, man, it might be more yours than theirs, right? Because you committed it and you sent them all for lessons, and even when they didn't want to have the talks on the way home, I'm sure you all gave them the talks on the way home. Coach, Katie, Dave, you took these girls and practice after practice after practice. They would come home frustrated, I'm sure, but you connected with them and you were able to put together a winning formula that no one can take away from you. You guys are now a piece of official history for Springfield and for Union County. So this also is as much yours as everybody else's. So I will read this proclamation now. Lucky that this is the second one we've been able to do in 3 years. Whereas the Jonathan Dayton Bulldogs had a very impressive 2026 softball season in which they won a North 2 Group 1 state sectional title for the first time in Dayton softball program history with a 5-4 win over Whippany Park. And whereas the Bulldogs won the Group 1 state tournament for the first time in school history with a 2-1 win over Bound Brook. And whereas we are gathered here on this occasion as friends, family, and neighbors of the Jonathan Dayton softball team to congratulate them on their achievements this season. And whereas the Township of Springfield desires to express its admiration for these athletic accomplishments, be it hereby proclaimed, the Township of Springfield hereby recognizes the Bulldogs, Blake A. Croth, Carolyn Cantagallo, Ivy Klein, Ariana Ortiz, Lola Mastroni, Quinn Mongan, Tiffany Ruiz, Mackenzie Tarrant, Aubrey Cantagallo, Avatal Candel, Sophia Solish, Charlie Balamente, Jessica Miller, Peyton Riolo, Samantha Sonato, Juliana Santangelo, Madison Tarrant, Abigail Trank, Lila Carroll, Bella Pintado, Kara Steer, head coach Dave Rennie, and assistant coaches Caitlin Scaturo and Kevin Schultz. Is Kevin here? I didn't see him. For the hard work and dedication exhibited them by this softball season, and recognizes the exceptional magnitude of the accomplishments of the Jonathan Dayton Bulldog softball program. Be it further proclaimed that Harris Laufer, Mayor of the Township of Springfield, on behalf of the Township Committee, proclaim that June 23rd, 2026 is declared to be Jonathan Dayton Bulldog Softball Recognition Day, and that all residents are encouraged to express their admiration to the members of the Jonathan Dayton Bulldogs softball program. Congratulations.
So we have a copy of a proclamation for everybody on the team. So if you guys are going away to school, this is obviously prime dorm room hanging. This is prime for your dorm room. It's really impressive. You got a fancy piece of paper from the town. And then if the coach would like to say a couple words, or a captain or whoever, the mic is yours, and we'll come down and we'll hand out proclamations. Come on down. Alex, you want to come down? Yeah, after we'll take a group picture, so come on, one by one. Yep, like you're getting the diploma. Stand right over there. Take it.
So the only thing I'd like to add is how these young ladies have impacted the community. First of all, I want to thank you for inviting us. Second of all, I want to thank you for the parade, which was amazing. But also, not only their influence and impact on the community, but even more important, the impact on the young ladies in town who play softball at the youth level. We started our camp today, and the enthusiasm is amazing. And I don't know that you could even put a price on that, how important it is to impact the young girls in town like these young ladies have. So they were doing it anyway. They were already rock stars to these little ones, but this raises it up even higher. So congratulations, ladies, and thank you.
Would anybody, I mean, you said your piece, but if you have another piece, feel free. Alex?
A very exciting time, making all of us proud. At the same time, our orange and blue is at the same time when the Knicks with orange and blue, making all of us all proud around us. So it's just a fun time to be a local sports fan. So thank you. You really do truly are an inspiration to everybody else. And every other sports is competitive, and you'll push every other sport to continue to want to be in your footsteps and win us a state championship. So thank you.
Yep, go.
One more thing. What Coach said about the younger girls is very true. They look up to you now. What they see is they see a group of winning girls that, I mean, everybody wants to be a part of a team that wins. take them seriously, be good role models, be kind to them, because some of them are not going to be great initially. Some of them end up becoming great after a year or two or 5 or 6. But just take your jobs as role models seriously, and this program will win for a very long time.
So as a former Dayton athlete who didn't win a damn thing, you guys have done something that is truly impressive. I remember, you know, when I was going to school, Dayton was not a sports powerhouse at all. You know, it really wasn't much of, it was much more of an afterthought than it is now. And now we're certainly on the map, and I hope that we stay on the map. And just raise your hand if you rode on the fire truck in the parade. I just have a question because I've never done it. Was it cool? And I hope that we get to find new ways to celebrate the Jonathan Dayton Bulldogs in years to come. And I can't wait till you guys are back here next year for a repeat. We'll get you even more fancy pieces of paper and recognize you even more. So everybody give the Jonathan Dayton softball team a round of applause. And and for my final act in regards to the softball team tonight, I'm going to call a recess so you guys don't have to stay for the meeting. So we are now in recess. Thank you for coming, and good luck in the future. All right, we are back. Is there public comment on any governmental issue? On agenda items only. Anybody for agenda items only? Please come up. All right. Seeing none, we are going to move on to reports. Director Betcher, do you have a report for us?
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to touch on a couple bullet points. Yesterday, we attended a meeting with the DOT regarding the Morse Avenue Bridge replacement over the Rawway River. Some of the takeaways were that they completed the bridge specifications and the final design. Green acres and easement studies are all completed. They plan to go to bid in the fall and award in early December. So school ends next year on June 18th. The plan is for a hard close beginning on June 22nd, 2027 for 10 weeks. So their plan is to have that bridge out and back in before school opens in 2027. All the traffic studies, detours were completed. Obviously, we're going to be having some meetings prior to the project with emergency services and public transportation. And I saw the bridge design. Obviously, it's going to eliminate the 3 arches. It'll be a 1-barrel bridge with that open concept. And they did try to maintain the historical look of the bridge, which I guess is a good thing. Moving on to the Caldwell Bridge culvert. So there hasn't been much activity over there. Reason why is the contractor is waiting on the county to approve a change order to add 2 storm basins to correct a pitch problem in the road, which will eliminate ponding after the project is over. Once the change order is approved, they'll install the basins, followed by the curbing, and pave the road. So the change order did push the completion date back a little bit. Right now, we're looking at a July 10th completion date. We have our next paving project is going to be the long-awaited Walbino and Linden Avenue. The specs were approved by the DOT. We should be going to bid over the next 2 weeks. We're looking at a late summer, early fall for this work to begin. And again, this is a state-funded project with a grant of $322,000. The engineering cost was $375,000, so that's pretty much 85% funded by a state grant. I have a project coming up with lighting. We're going to be updating all the lighting in all the main buildings and our parking lots. That's going to be done by Queen Lighting. It's going to be performing the work through JCP&L. It's an energy saving program. So they're going to be replacing over 400 lights at a cost to us at $577 through that program, which we'll get that money back in savings quite quickly. Those are just some of the highlights in my report. Everybody has my report. If you have any questions on anything in the report or my bullet points.
Can you go, the noise I couldn't hear, can you go back to the Morris Avenue Bridge? I was so distracted between the noise in the hallway and, can you give me it one more time?
Sure. Okay. So the bridge over the Rawway River, they completed the bridge specifications and the final design. It's done. Green Acres and the easement studies are all completed. It's done. They plan to go to bid in the fall, and it should be awarded in December of this year, obviously. School ends next year on June 18th. The plan is for them to do a hard close immediately following that on June 22nd for 10 weeks, at which they're telling us that that bridge will come out and go back in, which is possible. It's probably all precast. All the traffic studies were done, and there'll be meetings prior to the project next year. I see that as being a very logistical problem.
They didn't give you any kind of hint as to...
I do have some of what they're doing. So coming out of Union, when you hit Liberty Avenue, that's going to be the point where you'll either be going right or left based on a GVW. So the lower GVW, probably under 33 GVW, would be like a mason dump, and pickup in cars would go to the left. So either you're going to go out, you're going to either hit Route 22, or you would turn on the Milltown Road. Yeah. And anything heavier, your heavier GVW trucks would make the right on Liberty. They'll head over to Vauxhall Road and over through Milburn. I haven't gotten the actual detours coming down through Springfield, but I would imagine you're going to hit Maple Ave, and that's going to be it. You're going to have to make a left there. So, and they did comment that that the detours are going to have to be constantly adjusted. When you look at something like Milltown Road, when it gets, I mean, if you have the littlest problem over there, it's backed up all the way to Liberty. Just assuming you're going to find impatient drivers are going to start wandering around through Laurel Drive and Smithfield, which is not really going to help them at all. But I think, for myself, I think that detours is going to be a little more difficult than the bridge.
It would be easier to build another bridge on the side as a temp bridge, yeah, than it would to, wow.
Yeah,
There's no way commercial is gonna stay going up to Vauxhall. Oh. All the GPS.
you know, so you do have, you know, some big trucks, you have a lot of tractor trailers. So again, this is, according to them, they're going to tweak this as they move along.
And it's a prefab bridge though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, thank God it's in the summertime, and hopefully it won't end up getting pushed into the school year, because I can't imagine that happening. But they seem to be fairly confident. They did all the work. There will be some early preliminary work going on prior to the project, but it's not going to affect the traffic at all. It'll be off to the side of the road.
Has there ever been a car count on Morris Avenue? Ryan?
I believe they did it, when they did the repaving a few years back. I don't know what it is. I have a contact to the state. I don't know if that guy still works there.
It's got to be thousands, daily.
I mean, these conversations have been going on probably, what, 6, 7 years at
Yeah.
least?
Yeah, they actually did a presentation, I think back in 19 is when they first approached us with this. And I know for a fact, coming out of Union on a regular day, around 8:30, 9 o'clock, the traffic is backed up all the way down past, oh God, deep into Union, down by
By
Keene
all the way to
College.
CVS. I mean,
No, it's,
it can take you a half hour to just get from the Springfield line down to Kane.
Absolutely.
Reprogram lights, that the light on Milltown is not gonna be sufficient to flow that traffic through. But those were all things they did speak about. I guess we're gonna get a little deeper into it in the near future.
Unfortunately needs to happen, and will hopefully help with the
Yep.
flow of the water underneath the bridge.
yeah.
We eagerly await those plans. Any other questions for Director Betcher, Captain Westover? Are you good in terms of your report?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We are moving on to Alex's second favorite part of the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adopt regular meeting minutes of April 28, 2026, and regular and executive meeting minutes of May 12, 2026, as emailed.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, we're catching up.
We're doing great. New business ordinances on second reading. Madam Clerk, the floor is yours.
Ordinance 2026-12, this ordinance grants renewal of municipal consent to Comcast of New Jersey, LLC, to construct, connect, operate, and maintain a cable television and communication system in the Township of Springfield, Union County, New Jersey.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2026-12 as read by Madam Clerk and publicized in the Township website on June 25th, 2026.
Second.
All right, first, we're going to open up a public hearing on this ordinance. If there are any public comments on this ordinance, please step up to the microphone now. Public hearing is closed. Is there any discussion up here? We've discussed this ordinance. Madam Clerk, can we have a roll call?
Committeeman Weber?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Mayor Laufer?
Yes. Next are ordinances on first reading. Madam Clerk.
Ordinance 2026-14. This ordinance amends the land use provisions set forth in Chapter 35 of the Township Code by permitting car washes as a conditional use within the Highway Commercial Zone District pursuant to Section 35-41 conditional uses, thereby amending Appendix A, Schedule of Zoning Limitations of Chapter 35 to include car washes as a permitted conditional use with the Highway Commercial Zone District, establishing specific conditional use standards for car washes within Section 35-41.2, specific requirements, and adding a definition of a car wash within Section 35-7 definitions.
I will make a motion to adopt ordinance 2026-14 as read by Madam Clerk.
Second.
Oh, I will note before that second that the township website will publicize this on June 25th, 2026, with a final hearing scheduled for July 14th, 2026.
Second.
We're going to have a discussion on the ordinance. Mr. Dowd, would you care to contribute?
Can you explain, because we did this, we made a first reading already. What was the changes coming from the planning board?
So we did, as Deputy Mayor Kaiser just mentioned, this ordinance was actually introduced at the last meeting. That was then sent over to the planning board for a consistency review and for any recommended changes. The planning board did come back with a couple minor changes, but although they were minor, they were significant enough that I thought it would make sense to reintroduce the ordinance rather than going through the amendment process. The changes from the initial first reading really were just to make it clear that this is both the westbound side of 22 and the eastbound side of 22, that there'll only be one permitted car wash going each direction. It also clarified the limitations in terms of adjacent property boundaries and the proximity of one car wash to another, and also specifies that that there are no manual car washes permitted, that it's automatic car washes only. Those are the principal changes from the last version of the ordinance. And generally speaking, this ordinance allows for car washes in the HC zone, which is highway commercial, and essentially is the area adjacent to the Route 22 corridor through Springfield.
Any questions on Mr. Dowd's comments? If not, Madam Clerk, can we please call the roll?
Deputy Mayor Kaiser,
Yes.
Committeeman Weber,
Yes.
Mayor Laufer.
Yes. All right, we're moving on to resolutions. Please let me know if anybody on the dais would like a resolution pulled. 2026-187, 2026-188, 2026-189, 190, 191, 192, 193, 194, 195, 196, 197, 198, 199, 200, 201, 202. Is there a,
Make a motion to adopt the following resolutions by consent agenda. Resolutions 2026-187 through resolutions 2026-202.
is there a second?
I will second that.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser,
Yes.
Committeeman Weber,
Yes.
Mayor Laufer.
Yes. No discussion and action items today. Now to Deputy Mayor Kaiser's favorite part of the meeting.
I will make a motion to adopt payroll and invoices for the period of June 10th, 2026 through June 23rd, 2026 in the amount of $4,902,854.81.
I will second that.
Madam Clerk?
Deputy Mayor Kaiser,
Yes.
Committeeman Weber,
Yes.
Mayor Laufer.
Yes. We have no correspondence. Now is the time for public comment on any governmental issue. If anybody from the public wishes to speak to the Township Committee on any governmental issue, now is the time to do so. I am going to close public comment. And now we have an executive session. Madam Clerk.
Resolution number 6.23.26. Whereas Article 6 of the Open Public Meeting Act provides that a public body may hold a closed session, and whereas the Township Committee will during this meeting enter into discussion of the following matters: attorney-client privilege and personnel. Whereas the matters to be discussed in the closed session are to remain in strictest of confidence by all Township Committee members in furtherance of their fiduciary duties of the Township of Springfield. Now therefore be it resolved, matters discussed at this meeting will be released to the public when the reason for discussing and acting upon them in closed session no longer exists.
So I'll make a motion to adopt that executive session resolution as read by Madam Clerk.
I will second that.
Before we do an all in favor, action may be taken. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We are enclosed. write you up. Bar. You're good? Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. We're adjourned.